My mother-in-law wrecked my garden, then smirked. Oh, well, accidents occur. Right to her face, I replied, they sure do. Later, when her car was mistakenly towed after I flagged it as abandoned in my driveway, the accidents didn't stop. 34M, work as an vac tech. Not flashy, but steady, it covers the bills. My wife, Jenna, 32, and I purchased our first house 2 years back. A simple 3-bed place with a fair-sized yard. The house needed fixing, but the garden became my refuge. Growing up in apartments, I never had dote of my own to cultivate. So when we moved in, I dove head first. YouTube, tutorials, library guides, local grower, forums. I soaked it all in. Began small, with tomatoes and basil, then grew bolder. By this spring, my raised beds overflowed. With veggies, berries lined the fence, and I'd pieced together a little greenhouse. From salvage windows, my mother-in-law, Diane, 58F, has always been a thorn. Nothing ever pleased her. Our house was cozy, red, modest. My work was hands-on, blue-collar, beneath her daughter's standards. But the garden, that's what really set her off. Man, don't garden, she'd sneer. That's women's work. I'd shoot back, sounds like the 1950s want their stereotypes returned. She'd scowl, then pivot. You're throwing money away on dote and seeds when groceries are cheaper. But I logged everything between saving on our own meals and selling extras at the farmer's market on weekends. The garden actually brought in some cash. Nothing huge, about $800 last summer, but it was mine. Last Saturday, Jenna drove 3 hours for her college roommate's baby shower. Overnight trip. Diane knew this. She'd been invited but claimed urgent country club duties. I worked half a shift, got home at 2 p.m., and there was Diane's white Lexus in my driveway. Odd, but fine. Maybe dropping something off. Then I noticed the backyard gate wide open. I stepped through and froze. My garden was annihilated, not touched, obliterated. Beds overturned, soil dumped, tomato plants, 2 months of growth, torn out and tossed. Berry bushes I'd nurtured for 2 years hacked to stumps. The greenhouse, windows shattered, glass glittering like shrapnel across my seedlings. And there was Diane, designer gloves spotless, pruning shears, my shears, in hand. Oh, Michael. She clutched her chest. You're early. I just stared. I thought I'd tidy while Jenna's away. But, goodness, I don't know much about plants. She laughed. Oops. Accidents happen. Accidents, I echoed, voice flat. Well, it was so messy. I couldn't tell. Weed from whatever these were. She waved at my destroyed tomatoes. But, isn't this better? Now you can put in a patio, something appropriate. Her smirk said it all. It wasn't clumsy. It was deliberate. Accidents happen, I murmured. They do, indeed. She missed my tone, babbling about curb appeal. I went inside, grabbed my phone, and started taking photos. Every angle, every ruin, broken, glass, ripped plants. What are you doing? Her voice sharpened. Documenting the accident for insurance. Her face drained. Insurance? Oh, don't be dramatic, Michael. Just some plants. I filmed her too, pruning shears in hand, standing in wreckage. She left in a rush. I spent hours tallying the losses. Plants, greenhouse, 2 seasons of labor, plus missed market sales, about $1,400. Not everything, but not pocket change. That night Jenna called. I told her. Dead silence. Then she destroyed your garden completely. Yeah. I'm coming home. Tomorrow's fine. Nothing left to save. Michael, I'm so sorry. I can believe it. I just hate that I can. Here's the thing. My wife knows her mom is toxic. She's been in therapy, setting boundaries, dying bulldozers. We'd been talking low contact. Now it felt like no contact. Sunday, Jenna stormed in. Called Diane. On speaker. Mom, what did you do to Michael's garden? Oh, sweetie, I was helping. Men never finish outdoor projects right. You destroyed it. Destroyed is harsh. I was improving. Property value. You should thank me. Thank you? Mom, you owe Michael $2,400 for damages. Diane laughed. For vegetables? Don't be absurd. If he wants to play farmer, he can replant his hobby. It's not a hobby. He sells at the market. You destroyed his income. Income? Please. If he worked harder at his real job, you wouldn't be in that tiny house. Jenna hung up. Monday, I came home to Diane's Lexus. Sprawled across my driveway, blocking the garage. Empty. No note. I texted Jenna. Your mom's car is here. No sign of her. What? Facebook says she's at book club. Interesting. I called non-emergency. Hi, there's an abandoned vehicle in my driveway. Been here 6 hours. Neighbors. Confirm. Officer came. Check plates. Called tow. Diane arrived mid-load. What are you doing with my car? The officer said, is this yours? Of course. I wasn't abandoning it. I was visiting. I've been home 2 hours, I said. You weren't here. Haven't seen you since Saturday. I left it for safekeeping. The officer said, you can't store cars on private property without permission. It's impounded. You can pick it up tomorrow after paying fees. She spun on me. You called them. Someone left a car in my driveway. What else should I do? I was teaching you respect. The officer raised a brow. So you admit you blocked him intentionally as harassment. Her jaw snapped shut. Tow truck left with her Lexus. Officer handed me his card. Call if this escalates. Diane Ubered. Home. I waved from the door. Accidents happen. I called. Her face went purple. Update. You were right. Extinction. Burst doesn't cover it. Tuesday she paid $450 to get her car back. Jenna's dad. Richard called. Jenna told him everything. Long silence. Then, your mom needs to apologize and pay damages. Diane refused. Instead, she started a campaign. Wednesday morning, I woke up to my neighbors asking about the flyers. Someone had plastered every house on our street. My photo, snatched from Facebook, with text claiming I was running a commercial farm in a residential area, ruining property values, attracting pests, and selling produce without permits. I actually laughed. I'd done the research. Our city code allows personal gardens and weekend market sales under $5,000 with no permits. I had every document ready. Still, some neighbors were worried. I spent Wednesday night showing them the regulations, pictures of the wrecked garden, and explaining the truth. Most were supportive. Mr. Rodriguez, 2 doors down, was furious. That woman destroyed the garden my grandkids love, the one with your tomatoes I buy weekly. Yeah, Diane didn't realize half this. Neighborhood were my customers. Thursday, she escalated into actual criminality. Thank God for my ring cam. At 3 a.m., she crept up my driveway with a bottle of herbicide. She was headed for the lawn when the motion lights blasted on. She panicked, dropped the bottle, and ran. It cracked, spilling all over her as she scrambled to her car. The video caught it, clear as day. I called police that morning. handed over the footage. Charges: attempted criminal mischief and trespass. Jenna got the call at work. Her mother had been arrested and needed bail. Let her sit, Jenna said, and hung up. Richard bailed her out later, furious. 40 years of marriage and I've never been so embarrassed. She tried to poison your lawn. What's next? Arson. Burning our house down, Jenna muttered. He asked if she seemed okay lately. Turns out Diane had been unraveling since. Her sister moved away. The sister was the only one who could call her out. Without that, Diane spiraled. The country club had even suspended her for drama. But the kicker? Friday morning, I got served. Diane was suing us for emotional distress, defamation, and malicious prosecution. Her lawyer must have been starving for billables because the claims were absurd. She said I entrapped her with cameras, defamed her by telling neighbors the truth, and traumatized her by towing her car. Jenna actually laughed when she read it. She knows we're friends with Tony, right? Tony, our defense attorney friend, took one look, countersue, immediately. So we did for the garden, the herbicide, trespass, flyers, harassment, evidence, photos, video, witness statements, market, receipts. And Diane wasn't done. Saturday, she came to the farmer's market. I was selling what little I'd salvaged. She screamed to customers that I was violent, abusive. Regular stared. Mrs. Chen, who buys my herbs every week, cut her down. Diane, didn't you get suspended from the club for throwing wine at staff? Diane bolted, but not before vendors filmed. Her meltdown. Tony added business. Harassment to the countersuit. Update 2. The legal wheels turned slow. But karma hit fast. Remember the herbicide? When she dropped it, it soaked her Lexus. Leather ruined. Permanent stench. Insurance. Denied coverage. Damage during a crime. She tried trading it in. Dealer offered $8,000 less than she owed. Now she drives a car reeking of weed killer. Then the country club imploded. 3. Members had already complained. The market outburst sealed it. Membership revoked. For Diane, that was social death. Whole identity gone. She tried another club, but they called us, still listed as emergency contacts. Jenna told them why. Application denied. Richard filed for separation. After 40 years, he was finished. The garden was bad enough, but trying to poison your lawn, sue my own daughter, I can't defend her anymore. Diane blamed us. Began prank calling. Jenna's worked 20, 30 times a day. HR had to block her number. She made fake Facebook accounts to message me. You'll pay for destroying my family. Screenshots went straight to Tony. Then yesterday, Home Depot. I came out to find every tire slash on my truck. Problem for Diane? That lot has more cameras in a casino. Footage showed her. Broad daylight, knife in hand, face clear. Police were there in 10 minutes. Charges: felony vandalism, damage over $950, violation of restraining order, and grand theft auto. Arrested on the spot, screaming that I ruined her life. This time, no bail. Judge called her a danger. County lockup. Jenna cried. Not grief, exhaustion. She's my mom. Or was. I don't know this person anymore. Richard showed up next morning with coffee and a $2,400 check. I enabled her for 40 years. Should have stopped it earlier. This isn't enough, but it's a start. He stayed, helped me rebuild a raised bed. Didn't say much, just worked. Before he left, I'm glad Jenna has you. You're a better man than I was. Tony says with the arrests and evidence, our civil case is solid. Diane's looking at jail time for the tire attack. The garden will take years to recover. Berry bushes gone, perennials destroyed. But neighbors are helping. They drop off cuttings, seeds. Mr. Rodriguez's grandkids even drew me a card. Sorry about your garden, Mr. Mike. Final update. Diane pled guilty to avoid longer time. 6 months county jail. 3 years probation. Mandatory therapy. Plus restitution. Court settlement gave us $11,000 after fees, enough to rebuild. Richard finalized divorce. He gave her the house but kept his retirement. She'll have to sell, can't afford it alone. She's moving out of state after release. Her reputation? Shredded. Tire slashing. Footage leaked on Facebook. Went viral. She became a meme. God and grandma gone. Wild. Social death. Permanent. Meanwhile, my garden's growing again. Neighbors bring plants. Market vendors bought me a new greenhouse kit, better than the one I built. Richard even joins me on weekends, rediscovering gardening after decades. He brought his own tools last week. I'm thinking of tomatoes, he said. I can help with that, I told him. First, real smile I'd seen in years. It's not the neat happy ending. A family shattered, a woman jailed, relationships burned. But reality isn't always neat. Sometimes toxic people don't change. They escalate until they implode. My marriage is stronger. My neighbors feel like family. My father-in-law is becoming a friend. My garden will grow back. And Diane? She's got 6 months in county. Orange to think about how accidents happen. Best part? Next season, I'm naming a tomato comma. They take time, but the wait is worth it. Farmers market folks already love the idea. Edit. Yes, I've got receipts. No, I won't. Share footage for legal reasons. And yes, the comma tomatoes sold out in an hour. Turns out the universe is a sense of humor.